Good morning, everyone. It is currently the 14th of July, and I just thought I'd give you all an update on the latest money that has been announced yesterday from both the New South Wales Government and the federal government. At this stage, the details are fairly limited, and I know a lot of people are asking for our help to access this money, and there's not that much we can honestly do right now but direct you to where you can try and access some of this yourself. But the state government money that was announced yesterday is not available at this stage. So the only thing that is available right this moment is the disaster payment that's been issued through Centrelink. It is called the COVID-19 disaster payment. This has been available for a couple of weeks now, and they've now changed the rules from the 15th of July to allow the payment to be a little bit higher. So for the first and second period, which is the last 2 weeks that we've just had, the payment was $325 if you have lost less than 20 hours of work per week. So it's a $325 payment for the first 2 weeks, and then $500 if you've lost more than 20 hours per week. Going forward after the 15th of July, which is from tomorrow, this payment has increased. So from $325 to $375 if you have lost between 8 hours but less than 20 hours of work per week. And if you've lost 20 hours or more of work per week, you will go up to a $600 payment. Now, this is a weekly payment. Each one you would have to go in and actually ask for that money separately. So if you think you're eligible for this, you need to go into your MyGov account and apply for the payment. It is available for sole traders as well as people who work on salary and wages. So and apparently it's quite simple to apply for. I would suggest if you think that this is something that you're able to get, you go in and do that, but you will have to reapply each week. And there was originally a test of $10,000 liquid assets, as to which you couldn't get that, but that's now changed. That test is no longer there. You can't get this, however, if you're also on some other payment from Centrelink. So just be careful. If you're already getting some sort of support from Centrelink, you're not going to be able to get that payment. All right, so leaving Centrelink aside, that is the only thing that's available right this minute. So what was announced yesterday was a whole bunch of new supports from the New South Wales Government. Some of this is also funded through the federal government, but the rollout will come from the New South Wales Government. So we've got 3 different grants available. The first one's called the COVID-19 Business Grant, which was announced already previously, and what they've done is they've extended the amount of the grant. So apologies if you can hear dogs in the background. I have a bunch of dogs here in my office today. I'm dog minding. Okay, so the first of the grants is, it depends on how much your turnover has declined as to how much you'll get. And at the moment, it's just a one-off grant, and it's meant to be designed to help pay for such things as utilities, rent, wages, and whatever that you can't pay for because your business has declined in turnover. To get this, you have to be earning, have more than $75,000 in turnover and less than $1.2 million in turnover. Sorry, that's not true. More than $75,000 in turnover and less than $1.2 million in wages for the year, unless you're in the hospitality or tourism industry, in which case the wage threshold is $10 million. So there is a bit of eligibility criteria there. We're looking at the decline in your turnover, and we're looking at that from a 2-week period in the current 2 weeks that we've just been through or going forward versus a similar time 2 years ago in 2019. Now, if your business hasn't been around for that long, then there are going to be other tests available, but we don't know what they are at the moment. So I can't really help you to tell you what that is, but I'm assured that there's going to be ways that if you haven't been around for 2 years, that we can demonstrate that you have had a decline in turnover as a result of this latest pandemic and lockdown. So if the decline over decline in turnover is more than 30%, you get 7,500. If your decline in turnover is more than 50%, it's 10,500, and if your decline in turnover is more than 70%, it's $15,000 payment. Now that's increased in the last week because of the fact that the lockdown has been extended in Sydney. And to get this, you don't have to necessarily be in Sydney. You could also be in regional New South Wales and having the same impacts on your business because of the lack of trade going on as a result of all of the shutdowns in New South Wales effectively. The government did announce that those grants will be tax exempt, so that means you won't have to pay tax on it. I'm assuming that's what that was in the Prime Minister's speech yesterday, so I'm hoping that that's what he meant by that the state government grants will be tax exempt. So that was the first one that was announced. Now, also they announced yesterday that there are, that there is a job saving, it's called Saving Jobs grant. Now this, I'm not sure if this is going to be tax exempt. I think that this probably will be taxable. And this is the amount that is going to be provided, which is going to be a weekly payment of between $1,500 and $10,000 per week, and that will be starting hopefully sometime next week, and it's meant to be to subsidise the wages that you should be or would be paying to your staff. Now, to get this, there are rules around the fact that you can't sack staff or put staff off, so they want you to still be paying staff. There's a lot of detail in this that I'm not really sure of right now. It's something to do with being 40% of the wages that you would normally pay is going to be subsidised. Again, lots of details to know, and we'll roll that out to you as we find out some more information. But at this stage, I don't know a huge amount. It is also going to be available for sole traders or partners who don't employ staff, and they'll be able to get a payment of $1,000 per week. But to get these payments, you have to have turnover of more than $75,000 a year and less than $50 million a year. So just be waiting for a little bit more information on that. The third grant that's been released is what's called a micro business grant, and that's for those small businesses who are under who turn over between $30,000 and $75,000 a year, and that's going to be a one-off payment of $1,500. So it's like the other grant that I was talking about, the $10,000 grant or $15,000 grant, but it's for people who are under that $75,000 threshold. That is supposedly available in late July 2021, so hopefully we'll start to see that coming out soon. Now, the first grant that I talked about is the only one that has a date on it at the moment, and that's the 19th of July. That's when that's going to start opening for people to apply. To apply for any of those three things I've just talked about, you have to do that on Services New South Wales, and you have to have a Services New South Wales account. So can I suggest you go on to Services New South Wales and set up your account in the very first instance. You can also then register for updates, so they will notify you when certain grants are available and what's happening, and then you can be quick to jump in there and grab what you need to. I know it's really confusing. It's a very difficult time, and we're all very stressed right now, but there is money coming your way, and we are doing our best to help you. No doubt there'll need to be some sort of letter from us to confirm that you're eligible for those grants, and we'll be available to help you with that, and trying to take your phone calls and emails and what have you to help you right now. Just give us a bit of patience. We don't know too much ourselves, but we are here to help. So hopefully this has helped clarify a couple of things for you. Get onto Services New South Wales, get your business account, your My Services New South Wales account set up so that you're ready to go when the money is available. Stay safe, everyone, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.